In the last video, we trained a simple machine learning model using handwritten digit dataset called MNIST, and we saved our trained model into .tflite format. If you haven't seen the last video, I would suggest to go check that out. I will put the link in the description below. So in this video, we're gonna use that tflite format file for our Android app. First, let's just create a new Android Studio project. I'm gonna call it MNIST_test and Java as the language. Now let's modify the layout of this app. Go to res folder, then activity_main.xml file. I'm gonna make a very simple layout with two buttons, one for choosing the picture and one for the prediction. One image view to show the image that we will be choosing, and finally one text view to show the output number. Great. Now we need to add the TensorFlow Lite library inside the Gradle. Also need a AAPT option. AAPT is an Android asset packaging tool that's responsible to compile and package our app's resources. In this case, we will put no compress for tflite file. Now we need to create an assets folder. We can do this by selecting the new, then folder, and then asset folder. Then I'm going to copy our MNIST_model.tflite file into this folder. This file we generated in the last video, as you guys remember. Now that's all for the configuration, and now we can move to coding stuff. First, let's import the TensorFlow Lite interpreter and declare all the UI item that we need. In this case, we got an image view, text view, and two buttons. Very simple. Then let's declare the interpreter as tflite and the interpreter option as options. Now we need to assign the UI element to our variable. So let's do it by find view by ID. Now we're gonna instantiate the interpreter by tflite equal to new interpreter, which takes the model path and the interpreter option. I'm using a function called load model file from TensorFlow code example, which is a handy function for reading the model file in map byte buffer format. It will load the model that we have, which is MNIST_model.tflite file. Now let add the click listener to our buttons. Now when we click the choose button, it will take us to the image library or the gallery. So to do that, we need to ask user permission. So if user using Marshmallow or later version of Android, then ask for granted permission. Otherwise, just normal permission will be enough. So once the permission granted, and then we're gonna call choose image from gallery. Now let's add the permission in the manifest file. Cool. Now when user respond to our app permissions request, we need to handle the permission. So let's add on request permission result. So once the permission is okay, then just call the choose image from gallery. Now once the user chooses a photo from their gallery, our app needs to receive the photo as a result. So let's add on activity result. Now it will check if the user choose any photo or not. If yes, then set the photo to our image view. Let's run that. Let's click choose. Then let's choose the picture. I have one picture here. Great. Cool. So our choose button is working. Now let's make the prediction button work so we can know what digit is in that picture. First, I'm gonna declare a bunch of variables, byte buffer, which we're gonna pass our model, image pixel is going to be 28 by 28, as our image is 28 by 28, and it's going to hold all the pixel value of the image, and the result, which is another array, which is going to be 10, because we have 10 numbers. Now let's allocate a new direct byte buffer to image data. Byte buffer dot allocate direct. Now the capacity will be 4 into the dimension of the image, which is 28 by 28 in our example. Then order the byte by image data dot order byte order dot native order, where what it does is actually it takes the most significant byte and it will store at the lowest address. Now inside the predict button click function, we're gonna convert the image view source to bitmap drawable, and then to a bitmap. Now our image is quite big, and we don't know what is the dimension. We haven't set any limitation of what kind of dimension user can choose. So we're gonna resize the bitmap to 28 by 28 so our model can work with. Now I'm going to create a function called convert bitmap to byte buffer, which convert the resized image into a byte buffer. So inside the function, we check if the image data is null or not. If null, we exit the function. If not, then rewind the image data buffer. Buffer rewind just sets the buffer position back to 0, so we can reread all the data in the buffer. Then bitmap.getPixel will read each of the pixel in our 28 by 28 image, and will put each of the pixel value into image pixel array. Then we just need to look through the image width and height, which is 28 by 28 again, of the image, and convert each pixel value into a float value. For that, I'm going to write another function called convertPixel. So this function actually taking each pixel value and then returning a float number for each corresponding pixel. Now we're almost ready for the prediction. We're going to use tflite.run, and we're going to pass img data and the results. So let's show the result in our text view. Now let's run it. We're gonna choose an image here, choose this one again, and press predict. Cool, so it's working. So it's showing all the 10 number from the prediction array. Now, like the previous video, we just want to see the index of the maximum value inside the result array. We don't want to show all the numbers. But we don't have a arithmetic function like we had in NumPy. So let's create one. So it will look through all the item in the array. In this case is our result array, and if our current value is bigger than max pro, which we set to 0, then it will update the max pro, otherwise do nothing. So let's call the function in the image view. Okay, cool. So let's run this app. We're gonna do the same thing again, choose the picture, call, and the predict. Awesome, now I'm showing the index of the result array, which is 5. So that's all for this tutorial, guys. Please let me know any feedback or any issue if you have. Just let me know in the comment section. I will see you in the next one.